Good morning, everybody. Hashtag Life by Design. It's NICOA done. I want to talk about something new. I might have talked about it a little bit in my past videos, but I think it's time to really focus in on something that I've been doing some personal research in, and that's conscious coupling and relationships and how we are not only relating with the people who are in our world as our partners and our lovers, but how we are relating to the people in our world who are partnering with us at work or in friendship, and how we can use our practice of self-awareness to show up for them a little bit differently, and to show up for ourselves in that partnership so that it is powerful, it is meaningful, and we feel seen and heard. And the way we have to do that is to begin by really looking at ourselves first. We have to recognize what's causing our own behavior, our own attachment issues, our own wounds from our past, not to go sit in them and dwell in them, but once we recognize what's really happening with us, then it's a lot easier for us to sit in a space of allowing and connection with our partner. So this concept of conscious coupling, I'm no expert. I'd love for you guys to Google it. There's a ton of work out there. Not a ton. There's some work out there about it. I hope you have your coffee and you're ready to talk through this with me, because I woke up thinking about it, and there's a couple of points I want to make. The first point is, if we can take these tips in how we relate with our spouses, our partners, our lovers, then I think we can really find a more profound connected space of being satisfied, how we feel loved, how we feel seen. And one of the first things that I'm learning and have learned in my lifetime is to stop expecting the other person in your life to show up the way you would. Tip number one, stop expecting, and this applies to anybody, even the customer service rep, right? So stop expecting people to show up for you the way you would show up for them. Why would I say that? Because every time you hold an attachment to that type of outcome, when you expect the other person to do something nice for you that you would do for them, or right, like maybe you like to give cards to your partner or your spouse, and you always are surprising them with the card, and they never do that for you, and you're thinking, you never give me a card. So simple example, but at the end of the day, there's a really key point to not expecting someone else to show up for you the way you would show up for them. It's that they are not you, and they are different from you, and that's why you love them, and that's why you want to spend time with them. And that uniqueness is where you have the opportunity to focus on what do they do for you, in love with you, how do they partner with you, and look for the ways in which they give meaning to the relationship. It does not mean that you cannot articulate your needs and wants, but it does mean that you will continue to be disappointed if you're holding that assumption. Well, that they should do that. Again, this applies to everyone, not just those in couples. That customer service rep should have said ABC. And I'll tell you the truth, I used to get super annoyed and judgmental of customer service reps. That's why I use the example. I can remember once being very disappointed and mad at a rep who was not hearing me. I wasn't feeling heard. So again, this is the theme. You want to be seen in a relationship. You want to feel heard. You want to feel validated. You're not necessarily asking somebody to agree with you, but you do want to feel validated. And I said more than once to many a customer service rep, right about now would be a good time to tell me that you're sorry. Right now, if you could just tell me that you hear me and you understand me and you're sorry, I would feel a lot better. Said very arrogantly and very frustratedly and rudely in some cases. So that's tip number one. Stop expecting everybody around you, especially your partner, your lover, your spouse, to show up for you the same way you would show up for them. The second tip is take ownership for the love in the relationship. So I'm talking about conscious coupling. I want to talk about partnering. Obviously you guys know I'm in a relationship now after a 25-year marriage, and having learned so many lessons from the previous marriage, and then now having somebody in my life to love, I am really focused in on getting it right. So I know I can't get it wrong, but I have a bit of those tendencies. I want to learn. I don't want to mess it up, right? So when I talk about finding that space of love, what would love do in this situation? What would peace do in this situation? What would calm do in this situation? Because let me be clear, all couples are going to have their struggles, and they're going to have opportunities where they're going to have to really talk through their crap, right? So you're going to get triggered when you're in a relationship. And so if you can come back to love, and I don't necessarily mean, okay, well, I got to take a deep breath and I got to love this person and give them all my love right now. But what you can do is give yourself some love and say, wow, I'm really having a hard time right now. And really observe, say, what just happened in that interaction that's causing me to be upset or sad or dejected or whatever the emotion is. You work on identifying it for yourself first, and then it makes it a hell of a lot easier to be able to have that conversation outside of the frustrating discussion that happened before on even terms and talk through it and move closer. I love that book. The woman that wrote Lean In, sorry, I'm forgetting her name, but great book talking about leaning in. Instead of backing out, how can we lean in? And when you're in an argument, my tip to you is if you have enough fuel in your system that day and the other person's having a really big meltdown, don't run away. If they are melting down and you're thinking, oh my God, why is this argument happening? What are we talking about? Take a deep breath and lean in. If they run out of the room, follow them. When someone is breaking down, especially in a relationship, a conscious couple goes into each other. They move in. They don't move out. All right? They move in and they work through it. So tip 1, quit expecting other people in your life, especially your partner, to show up for you the way you would show up for them. And number 2, more love. What would love do? Lean in and move towards them, no matter what's happening. You might need a minute, but you can do it. Start with you. All right. #Life by Design. I hope you guys are having a fabulous, beautiful Sunday morning. Please comment. Did any of this resonate with you? Give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up. And do share this if you think somebody in your world would benefit. I've got some big things coming, guys, and I really can't wait to share them with you. So stay tuned, and I'll talk to you guys later.